We're getting close to the end of 2015, and I think it's time to update the top compressors list. And let's get this started off with number 5. We have DMG Audio's Compassion Compressor, Dynamics Processing, what have you. I put this at the number 5 spot because although it's very versatile, it suffers from what I call too many options syndrome, where you have way too many controls and it's kind of just confusing. And yeah, you can get rid of it like that. And yeah, you can do the presets, but I'm not really a fan of it. For some reason, I don't like the way this plugin's laid out. I don't like that it kind of just looks plain. You know, there's something about it this just never really caught my eye, but everybody's taste is different, and you may love this plugin because, like I said, it is very versatile. It can go from super clean to super saturated and everything in between, but it's just not for me, but it does deserve a spot at the top 5. Okay, and now at the number 4 position, we have FabFilter Pro C2. This came out in 2015. This is from FabFilter, which is a great company. They have an awesome interface, which I think is really the best in the business as far as compression is concerned. And you can have a full screen. Unfortunately, I'm using the evaluation copy. My evaluation has expired, so you really can't see the GUI very easily. But you can make this full screen, which is awesome. There's a good variety of compressor types. It seriously is the best sounding clean compressor out there, but for character, you need to look elsewhere, and that's why I only have it at the number 4 position. At number 3, we have the Slate Digital Virtual Mix Rack Bundle, and that includes 2 compressor plugins plus 2 EQs, but we're focused on the compressor plugins for this video. And that's on our left, we have a very nice 1176 compressor emulation, the Universal Audio, I believe it's the 1176 LN is actually what it's called. Also the Yuri 1176, but I believe this is a Universal Audio version. But either way, it's a classic compressor, classic hardware compressor that is good on a ton of sources. And then on our right, we have a custom-made software plugin compressor, which sounds anywhere from nice and smooth and clean to a little bit of transformer saturation. And also, I believe it's supposed to emulate a channel strip compressor. And I think that channel strip compressor is from the Solid State Logic 4000 compressor. I believe that's actually how this plugin started. If you read the manual, they hint at where this comes from. But either way, it's a very good compressor overall. You can do a variety of things, and I think with this package, you can do pretty much any compression that you need to do. Next up at the number 2 position, we have Clang Helm DC8C version 2. And although I love Slate Digital's offerings, you have a lot more in this package. You have your 4 easy modes to go through, and then you have your expert mode. Oh, I'm sorry, I did forget to mention with the Slate Digital, with Slate Digital, there is no sidechain option, and that's why it loses points, because you're not allowed to, you can't do that. Sidechaining is important for a lot of genres, and you can't do that with the virtual mix rack. But you can do that with DC8C2 along with expert mode, which gives you even more options. And some people like to have a lot of options. I personally like the easy mode. But, you know, if you really want to get into details, you can do that. There are also a variety of presets for different things. You know, this list keeps going. It's a huge list of presets. And then you also have oversampling, level calibration. You have a brick wall limiter that works at 0 samples. So it's a really good plugin in general. And the best part about it, in my opinion, and why I put it at number 2, besides the fact that it's a great sounding compressor, very versatile, is that it costs under $30 to buy this plugin. Very good job from Clang Helm, and it definitely deserves a number 2 spot. Very close tie with the number 1, which is Oh, I hit my envelopes. I didn't mean to do that. Is this? This came out this year as well, 2015 from Yuhi. This is the Presswork compressor. I'm trying to get to the initial screen. Presswork compressor. Right here, this is what DMG Audio's Compassion plugin should be. What I was complaining about earlier, they did. So you have a lot of options to start out with, which, like I said, a lot of people like that. I don't. So what do? They gave you this. It's called, let me get to my notes here. They call them views. So going through, see how it's limiting your options down to the essentials. Very, very cool stuff. So they limit you, no pun intended, on your options, and from their own words, they wanted to streamline compression or dynamics processing workflows. And to me, that says that they get it. They get it that too many options syndrome exists. And when you use the views option, it narrows down your choices and makes things a lot easier, because some mixes you can have like 50 or more tracks going. I don't really like doing mixes that big, but it happens. 50 or more tracks going, and you want to have a compressor a lot of times on every single track, and you really don't want to have to go through all these options every single time. Another cool thing is, just like DC8C2, you have a cool amount of presets over here. And what I liked better than DC8C2 is that when you go through each one of these, the title of the compressor is good, they describe it, and they also give you hints on how to use these. So as you're going down, not only is this plugin a great sounding compressor, very versatile, just like most of the other ones in this top 5, but it also teaches you, what each compressor is good for, which preset is good for. And you have, like I said, I'm just going down the first page here. We can go to different ones, and over here is where they're explaining things. Very, very cool. And we can keep going down the presets list. I'm using my down arrow now to go through these, and it just changes how each one of these sounds. See, all the knobs are moving for you. So all you have to worry about is the threshold, attack and release controls, and then the makeup gain for the most part, and you're good to go. Maybe input and output, but you know what I'm saying. Like this is really probably one of the best compressor plugins to be released in a very long time. And in fact, I would go as far as to say, as if you were just getting started with audio, you could buy this plugin and be happy for the rest of your mixing days. Seriously. Great job, Yuhi. I look forward to reviewing this plugin in detail, but I definitely give this the number 1 spot. And like I said, I'm jealous of you guys who are just starting out, because I would have loved to have had this plugin like 6 years ago. But seriously, I really like this, and any of these plugins would work great for you guys if you're just starting out. But if I was just gonna get one, I would get Presswork or DC8C2. Between these two, depending on your budget, if budget's not really a major consideration, Presswork for sure, but DC82 is also beautiful, and you can't go wrong with either of those two. And FabFilter for the clean compression, although Presswork and DC8C do clean compression quite well as well, but FabFilter's GUI and the ability to learn how to use compression through this plugin because you get to see how a compressor reacts with different controls. I really can't say, that in itself is worth the purchase price for FabFilter. But so I would say, between these two, or maybe FabFilter, although I do love Slate Digital stuff, but if you're just starting out, maybe get FabFilter Pro C for a learning tool. But if you don't really need a visual, then Presswork is the way to go. Presswork is freaking awesome. And there it is. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.